Welcome back, warrior. We are going to be reading 2 Nephi chapter 14. And I was able to go to the temple this morning. I'm sure you guys are wondering. I'm sure you were wondering if I made it. So I did. And can I just tell you, it is hard to go to the temple. So if you feel like it's super hard to go to the temple, just know that you're right. It is. And Satan makes it so hard for you to go to the temple. And because he knows that that's where we're going to get our power. And I've been going to the temple since 2008 for every Tuesday since 2008. And I had a less consistent schedule before that, but that was like when I decided I'm going to go every Tuesday. And I did, and I keep that up unless, I'm on vacation or something, but even then I still try to make it to a temple. So anyway, so I can tell you that every morning that I wake up to go to the temple, I still don't want to go to the temple. But I have to remind myself, when's the last time you went to the temple and you regretted it? Never. And so I'm always grateful after I go to the temple. So I have to remind myself, like, okay, it's great to go to the temple. You need to go. And I'm just talking myself. I'm literally arguing with myself. Well, I should say that because I know that Satan is the one that I'm really fighting against, but it feels like it's myself, right? Because he whispers in my own voice so that it sounds familiar to me. And so it's basically like I'm fighting with myself, like, I want to go. No, you don't. You'd rather get some sleep. I don't need to sleep. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And things like that. I have to say these things to myself. And I'm like, it's just a big argument all the time. Or, hey, we're going to take a nap afterwards, so it's okay. We can still go. And like all the arguments. And it's too early. You didn't get enough sleep. You didn't eat the right things before going to bed. You don't feel good. You might get sick. You are sick. Like all of the excuses. So just know that it is extra hard to go to the temple. Whether you're choosing to go early morning or not, it's going to be nearly impossible to go. So if you are at the temple, I just give yourself a round of applause because you did it. And I was going to say also, the one thing that I have found that makes it a little easier to go to the temple, okay, just a little bit, like it's not even, like if you do this, great. If you don't do it, it's still going to be hard, is putting on the exact same clothes to go to the temple every day, like every time. And it just helps like not have to think about it. So I just wear this warm skirt and the same shirt and my coat and my scarf. And that's what I wear. And a beanie. And that's what we do. But it's so hard. Oh, something actually that does help a little bit more than a little is when you take your own family names to the temple. If you can do that, you will get the help of those you're taking to the temple. I promise. It is so wild. When I have my names ready to go, it's actually not as hard to go to the temple. It is still hard to fall asleep on time or to go to sleep on time, but it is not as hard to wake up in the morning. And I think that's because we have that extra added help and encouragement and angels that are helping us to get there because they want us to take them there too. And they've been waiting for so long. So I would suggest doing that if something is a little extra hard. If you're like, this is impossible to get to the temple. And yeah, well, it really is. But it wouldn't, if it was If it was easier to get to the temple, I'd go there every day. And I did. There was a point in time when I went for 60 days. It was like a 30-day, and then I turned it into a 60-day because it was awesome. But anyway, it was amazing. But yeah, even I couldn't keep that up because, like I said, it is a hard thing. But it was a fantastic blessing. Okay, so that is my plug for going to the temple. Use the same clothes every time you go, and it makes it easier. Set out your stuff the night before, and then it's kind of the same stuff you would do to like go to the gym, right? Except it's different clothing. And then the second thing, which I think should be the first thing, is take your own family names or have names printed. When you go to familysearch.org, you can actually print name cards. They don't even have to be part of your family. They could be like temple names, but just have cards ready to go. And that way, those people that you are taking to the temple will be part of your wake up crew. And so they'll help you. Or just not even if you're going in the middle of the day or whatever, they'll help you get there, So it's just kind of like your temple buddies. So anyway, it's kind of fun that way. All right. Here we go. Chapter 14. Zion and her daughters shall be redeemed and cleansed in the millennial day. Compare Isaiah chapter 4. Okay. Where's my thing? Hold on. Oh, and today is March 1st. So happy March 1st. Isn't that exciting? Okay. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Okay, so in this verse, wait, it's so weird. Hold on. Here we go. It says, this verse is a continuation of the prophecy about the daughters of Zion. The day will come when the Jewish male population is so diminished that the women will not be able to find a husband, so they will not require a man to protect and provide for them as long as they can have a child. This paints a picture of a weakened and lowly society. A people who once walked proudly, now brought to the dust. That sounds sad. That sounds really sad, and I don't even want to know what all that is, The whole 7 women to 1 guy. Okay, verse 2. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, the fruit of the earth excellent and comely to them that are escaped of Israel. And it shall come to pass that they are left in Zion and remain in Jerusalem and it shall come to pass they that are left in Zion and remain in Jerusalem shall be called holy, every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof, by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. And the Lord will create upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion, and upon her assemblies a cloud and smoke by day, and the shining of a flaming fire by night. For upon all the glory of Zion shall be a defense. And there shall be a tabernacle for a shadow in the daytime from the heat, and for a place of refuge, and a covert from storm and from rain. Okay, the commentary here, it says, chapter 13 taught about the widespread wickedness, pride, and despair among Israel. Chapter 14 prophesies of the redemption and cleansing of Israel, even in the midst of a wicked world. The day of redemption will come for these daughters. The day will come when these daughters will abandon the ways of the world. That'll be great. Verses 5 and 6 speak of a protection verses 5 and 6 speak of a protection that will be upon the saints. Elder Bruce D. Porter used this verse to teach this important principle. It says, quote, when I was growing up, my father often led our family in gospel discussions around the dinner table. Only with the perspective of years do I understand today the contribution those family hours made to my own testimony. I rejoice in the prophecy of Isaiah that the time will come when upon every dwelling place of Mount Zion there shall be a cloud by day and a flaming fire by night, when the Spirit of God will abide in the homes of his people continually. End quote. That is so good. I love family scripture study, and I love being able to read or talk about the gospel with my family. It's the best. It's the best. And especially hearing the young, the youth, share their testimonies or their noticing or their wonders is just like, it's just awesome. We never really had that when I was growing up. And so I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know how it would go because I've never experienced it. But having now done it for a while, so long, years, is just so amazing. Like, how could you not? Like, so, I mean, and we're not perfect at it. Please don't think that we are perfect at family scripture study. We try to get it in the morning before going off to school. So that's our time to, you know, read together. And then the rest of the time is like, we're all at different places, especially with sports and things. And so our time is in the morning. And then if we are together for dinner, that's just great. But yeah, we try to do that during the night or during the morning. Okay, so chapter 14 was so short. You're like, wait, that's it? It sure is. So we have Read It, Live It for chapter 13 and 14 combined together. And it says, Isaiah tells of a time of distress in Jerusalem. Hope comes when he speaks of those who are left. Those who remain, those people will be called holy because they live by the Spirit. So the challenge is live in a way to be called holy today. That is beautiful. Live in a way to be called holy today. Whether that be your language or your actions or what you listen to or what you're reading, live in a way to be called holy today. Love it. Okay, so and really quick, since we have time, the March Youth Magazine is out, and I love this specific spread here, and it is by Elder Brad Wilcox. Bradley Wilcox. And he is talking about the positive difference Christ's grace can make. And he's the one who originally started us off on understanding what grace means a little bit more. And I love it. And so make sure you read that. If no other article, just read this one, okay? And that will be what you can do. You can find it on the app, or you can buy one and read it that way. So it is the March 2024 Enzyme, or March 2024 for the Strength of Youth magazine. Okay? All right. Until chapter 15, stay strong, warrior.